Get off my lawn. Just thought someone had that idea yesterday. I thought it was a pretty good one given my week. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Dave coming to you from the dog yard, rant yard, here in Southern Maryland. It is 3:30, 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. It is 83 degrees. Kind of a nice breeze. We're supposed to get a storm rolling in here in a few hours and maybe closer to morning. And then the next 5 or 6 days, we got highs like 67, 70, 72. I'll take that over 85. So, anyway, been a nice spring, kind of a slow rolling spring. We've had some hot days, but up and down, up and down. Doesn't stay in the 80s. Didn't snow. Could use a little more rain, but it's just been one of those really nice springs. April and May so far. So, and looks like I said, the next week is going to be pretty nice, not too hot. So we'll almost get into mid-May before it looks like we get any heat. Boy, that is nice. That is really nice. So the get off my lawn bit was came from one of you guys. I thought it was great. Somebody actually asked, "Hey, are you going to do this tomorrow? Going to get off my lawn?" I thought that fits my week, my bid so perfectly. So you know. Now I realize in Gran Torino, Clint's got a M1 Garand, you know, pretty much a World War II rifle, but my Mossberg 500 did just fine. So he's my little friend today in case somebody decides to rush me here in the yard. So don't have my Glock with me today. I figure that will do well enough. The dogs were wondering why I was dragging that thing out here into the field, though. That gave them a little bit of a concern. All right, here's your Saturday roundup. We just walked out, so these two are going to be a little bit excited for a minute. Here's my Scooch, my Echo, wondering what's going on. Oh, going to do her cow. Let's see if we can catch a cow here. Yep. There you go. Echo the cow. This is one of their fairly new foxholes. See how the brick moved a little bit? Oh, and wait. There's another one. Now that one I don't understand. It's on the outside of the fence. All right. That one concerns me. Nope, or cow. There's Chance being Chance over there. Pretty happy though. That's a pretty big dog smile. He's a pretty happy beast. He's moving around great, feeling good. He's been in a good mood. He's digging. He's rolling. He's a happy dog. You wagging your tail there? He almost wagged his tail. Maybe he's gonna be a cow. All right, that's a 2-minute dog roundup. So I've been bringing up this stupid roof project since Monday. So what is it, like day 6? So anyway, they're doing great. They're wrapping up. They're going to be done today. The dumpster gets picked up tomorrow on Monday morning. So anyway, I just thought rather than talk about it, I actually went over and shot a little bit. So I'm going to show you this famous roof right now. Well, here's the famous roof. It is a Saturday afternoon. They're going to finish today. See, 2-level roof. The guy in the orange up there that's Victor. He's the one in charge. Anyway, it's looking good. And we got this giant dumpster sitting here. I'll get out of here Monday morning. Anyway, we're looking good. You can kind of see the other side of the house a little bit better. Two-sided, 2 levels of the roof. And that little bit, that's all they have left to do right there. I can be out of here today. So guys, what are we smoking today? We are smoking the Cohiba Makassar. So in my top 10 list is the Cohiba Black, and in my honorable 4 mention is the Makassar. I'm probably butchering that, but anyway, it's the second tier Cohiba. I did not look up what this costs. I just didn't have time today. So I had a pretty busy morning. 8:30 in the morning, we had wheels rolling. I drove Anne-Marie to the BWI airport, dropped her off at 6:30, got back home at 7:30, showered up, took care of a couple things around the house, got over, got ready. CO school started at 9. It went to about 1. I took Mom some lunch, checked on the house, checked on the roof, made sure Mom ate something, got back here at 3, kind of got out here around 3:30, so I've been pretty busy. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get this lit up and we'll come back and chat. So guys, we need to start running these videos kind of like a board meeting. We got old business and we got new business. We got to get to the old business and clean up before we go to the new business. So old business items, got to clean up some of these issues from particularly last night. So first of all, talking about Anne-Marie and I, she and I have been together 37 years. We've been married 35 years. So yeah, these little daily, weekly, some of these corrections, they really don't mess with the foundation, let's put it that way. She actually became quite nice and sweet again yesterday evening. She was great on the drive to the airport today. So we've had to talk like that to each other a few times. I used to drink too much 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And there were a few times when she'd have to say, look, I got to have you change this. I can't have I'm a grumpy drunk. And so she just said, I just can't, I don't want to deal with this drunk, grumpy Dave. And so, I had to deal with that on a few occasions with her kind of telling me that. And then, you got to deal with getting talked to by the wife. But it was totally legit. So I appreciate that. And then there are times, very few, 2 or 3 in my 38 years where I've had to, talk to her that way. But it's better than getting angry. And I think not approaching it from anger, but from approaching it as I need a change from you, or I have to change how I react to you. It's kind of your decision. You're in charge. You're the boss. You're in control. This is what I'm looking for to change. And if it doesn't, that's okay. But this is the way I'm going to have to change my reaction to it. And, you're in charge. Which one do you want? And once the sting of the rebuke or the sting of the conversation goes away, we both kind of go, yeah, get it. Because we do it so rarely. I mean, I don't think Anne-Marie's talked to me like that in 10 or 15 years. And I've talked like that to Anne-Marie 2 or 3 times in 37 years. So, when we do pull that card, it's kind of a wake-up call to both of us. So, and I guess that kind of brings up to, in our household, I am the head of household. I mean, I am the provider. I am the provider of safety, of security, of stability. I am the CEO of the family. I am the head of household. There's no question or doubt about that. But in general, day to day, you wouldn't know that. I mean, the way Amory and I talk to each other, the way the kids and I talk to each other, we generally run things together. I'm very clear that we are, I've said it on the channel before, we are here to protect democracy, not practice it. So there are times when even the three of them want to go one way, eventually if I have to, I override it. But that's pretty rare. Sasha is a good example. The three of them said, Dad, too many dogs, you can't keep her. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Not a democracy. I didn't ask what question you're answering, because I don't remember asking any questions. And that's generally my family says, oh, we better stop talking. If I start asking you what question you think I asked you that you're answering, that's a good tell that you're starting to say things that don't make any sense to me. So, but by and large, we run the family. People get to say what they want, do what they want. We make decisions together in many cases, but when push comes to shove, the buck stops here. I know it. I'm in charge of things. And that means I'm in charge of, I'm responsible for things too. I'm not just in charge. I'm responsible for the financial stability of this family, the physical security of this family. And right now, like in 3 different cities, and the financial future of my kids. And, as they grow older, they have to take on some of their own, clearly. But right now, I'm still responsible for a lot of that. So, and I willingly accept it and take that on. But yeah, when a decision has to be made, I'm perfectly willing to make it. And if my wife or my kids need a correction, I'm willing to do that, and I have to be willing to take corrections myself. So, old business item number 1, Amber and I are great. She was fantastic last night. Made a great leftover dinner for me. Her meatloaf is a number 1. Got on the plane, no issues. 8 a.m. takeoff. I was actually back home by 7 o'clock. Can't believe that. She landed at 10. She and Lauren had lunch. They're on the beach. There's a senior artist showcase at 7 tonight. That's why Emery's down there today to go see that, because Lauren's part of it. So anyway, all good. Old business assignment number 1. Good. Tonight's is a medium plus. Nice and strong, a little bit bold. It's a nice cigar. So, old business item number 2, the pricing of services or products. I brought up Marvin, my cleaner, not to throw under the bus, not to have a bunch of you guys, but you guys said, she shouldn't be doing that to you. Not my point. My point was, it was merely an example when sometimes when you price a service, when you price your product, or when you go to evaluate a price of a product or a service you're thinking about buying, whether you're thinking about providing it at a price or consuming it at a price, the concern is, are you pricing your product or service over what most people are willing to pay for it? Are you pricing it over what most people value that product or service to be? I'll give you an example again. Don't jump on my house cleaner. I get it. But Marv charges me $350 a week to clean my entire house. That's pretty much what I'm willing to pay to have my house cleaned. And $351 isn't going to break the bank. But $400, at some point, I start to say, cleaning my house is not worth that much money. What is that dollar amount? I don't exactly know, but I'm close. I'm really close. So I meant it much like the oil change. Oil change for $50, I'm in. Oil change for $150, starting to get squishy. $200, I'm gonna start. I gotta shop it because you're overcharging me. So, like my F-250 is 16 quarts of oil, so I can't be too, like, it's not gonna be a $50 oil change. It's not gonna be a $300 oil change, but it's not gonna be a $50. Handcrafted pipe, $100, I'm in. $350, getting floaty. $500, I'm probably not going to buy it. That's me. My point is, if you're in the business of pricing a product or a service, just be aware, what do others charge for it, and what does the general society believe that product or service is worth before you stick the price on it. That's all. Old business item number 2. Old business item number 3 is the roof. Done it already. You've seen the videos. Should be done off the premises tonight. Dumpster gets picked up Monday morning. Out of here. Project complete. They've done a really nice job of cleaning up the job site the last 3 days. So been pretty happy with them. So we'll see. So final report will come out probably Monday afternoon, but that is a big one behind us. New business item number 1 was get off my lawn. So it was my Mossberg 500 pump action 12 gauge shotgun. I've got a tactical light on it because this is who you'll meet if you break into my house at night. 5 in the tube, 1 in the pipe, 5 on the sleeve, 15 on the sling. It's a very effective home defense weapon. It's enough weaponry for the chip or for the video. New business item number 2, CEO school. So we had CEO school today. 2 of my 4 guys came and had a great session. And so we're declaring we're kind of done now. We've gotten 2 of my students, mentees, whatever, have graduated out. 1 has been 2.5 years with me. Graduated from college, did exactly what we asked him to do. Got to the career fair, got into a career. We've been counseling him through the first 2 years of his career. He's on rails. So he and I talked just to keep him on the rails. But I mean, he is literally fully launched rocket mode. He's going to be a financially independent person by the time he's 30. My second guy, we worked together to get him ready for retirement. God threw him a bone. He took the early retirement because he'd done everything that we talked about doing for the 3-4 years we've been working together. So he was fully ready for retirement, and then God threw him the early buyout from Trump and Doge, and he took it. He is out, all the way out. Not going to be, not thinking about it, not planning for it. Fully retired, off the treadmill and loving life. So he's done. I'll talk to him whenever he wants. The other 2, I don't know if it's when something doesn't work, do you blame the mentor? Do you blame the mentees? Do you blame the system? And you know what? I don't think any of that applies. They had needs that were recurring and that were outside of my skill set. I'm a businessman. I'm a CEO counselor. I'm a business counselor. I can help you plan out a business, start a business, improve a business. But business is wrapped in life. And lots of times the wrapper that we bring in our life, or the foundation upon which a business opportunity must sit, needs help. And I just don't have those skill sets. So what I said was, my tank is run dry. I have nothing else to give. Let's take a few months off, talk again in August. But I'm pretty sure this group of 4, we're kind of done. So I don't like it. Feels like a failure a little bit to me, but I don't think anybody should be blamed. We just got to the end of the line, and just said, hey, I think we've done what we can do. We're starting to rehash topics and issues for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th time. It's just, I'm not being effective. You're not being able to make changes. You're not being able to take the road to success based on my help. So let's quit wasting each other's time and be done. So that's kind of where that ended. So good CEO school session today. Yeah, I'm good with it. All right, guys, I have 2 CEO school items for you today. One is we've talked about before, but sometimes I feel just hitting my folks with a hammer over and over again. Eventually they feel it. If you're going to start something, I don't care what it is, a business, a product, a service, a hobby, a family, a marriage, a friendship, whatever, right? You have to personalize it to you. I'm going to say you're starting a business, you're starting a second source of income, you want to generate a product in this world. We talk about a lot of people try to start a side business as pipe makers. When you do that, the question we have to answer before you get too far down the road is why? Why are you doing it? What is motivating you to do it? Now we have to be honest about what that is. I don't really care what the socially acceptable answer is. I care about it being from inside your heart, inside your soul. Why are you doing this? What's the motivation? If you're starting a pipe company, are you doing it just because you want to write off the cost of the pipe material so you can make yourself a bunch of pipes? I don't care. There's no judgment in it. Or I want to supplant my income and I want to generate $1,000 a month or $100,000 a year. Or I want to become a full-time pipe maker and I want that to become my primary source of income upon which my entire life rests. And then why? Because you hate your job or whatever. But you really have to think through why and what's the motivation and be honest. Don't make it sexy. Don't embellish it. Don't lie about it to make it sound cool. Because all that will backfire on you when the times get tough. And they're going to get tough. So that's business school, CEO school item number one. Why are you doing it? What's your motivation? Be honest. Be real. Don't worry about how sexy it sounds. All right, guys. Business item number two. I'm sorry. CEO school item number two. I want to talk about the concept of integrity. Integrity is simple to maintain, easy to lose, and you can begin a dangerous path of walking away from it. And one of the easiest ways to start down the path of breaking your bond with integrity is a concept called lying through omission. Lying through omission. This was a huge concept in the world I spent most of my 30-year career in. Because people would always say, "So I didn't lie to you." Well, but you omitted a key fact. You omitted a key change in behavior. You omitted it on purpose. You omitted it with intent to sway opinions or favor. You did it with malice or forethought to avoid embarrassment or to make yourself look better. And that is lying through omission. So I had two cases of that today during CEO school. So that's why it's at my forefront of my brain. And it woke up a huge memory bank from my 30 years in the business. And so when we break from integrity, we usually use something like lying through omission because it doesn't feel like you're lying. I mean, you are in fact lying. That's why when you get under perjury issues, it's you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Lots of testimony leaves out that middle piece, the whole truth, and that is officially lying through omission. And that doesn't feel like lying. So that's lots of times how people start the walk towards the dark side. It's just the tiniest of breaks. But once you've done it and felt okay about it, then that slips into normal behavior and you do it again and you do it again and you do it again. And that's why it's so dangerous. And that's why I react to it so negatively, because it really does represent the gateway drug towards, other bad decisions. There goes Echo, by the way. So the other thing I want to talk about, because this happened to me, so this is a real story from my life. My first employee, number one, my first employee, 5 years after I started the company, was a bureau employee, a dear friend of mine, wanted desperately to be a part of a growing company, wanted to be part of the company. So when the bureau asked me if I could find a second, I said, yeah, in fact, he's got the clearances. He kind of works for you guys, but he's looking to leave. But 10 years into our relationship, he took a first break. And so what happens is when you walk in 0 degrees, when you walk in the straight and narrow, and then you choose to click 1 degree off and you walk in the almost the straight and narrow, then that starts to feel normal to you. So you click it again, and now you're 2 degrees off. And over the course of a year, 3 years, 5 years, pretty soon you're walking 90 degrees from true. And instead of walking the straight and narrow, you're actually walking really, really off course. And eventually you keep doing that and you're actually walking towards the dark side. You're not walking the straight and narrow. And that's, you can choose any example in life you want. Marriage, I could definitely see how somebody could walk towards infidelity. I was just flirting, click, 1 degree. Then that flirting lifestyle becomes, seems normal. And then, well, I just bought her a couple of drinks, click, right? Oh, I just met her for drinks on her own one night, click. It can very easily turn into infidelity. I've seen people violate security clearances, create data breaches of secure information by clicking just one click at a time to the point where they're 90 degrees and they're actually working against the mission. So integrity is critical. Lying through omission is something you have to look out for in behavior in you and behavior in those around you, whether it be in your personal life or your professional life. If you start to view people lying through omission to make themselves look or feel better, that is a huge red flag that they've decided to make a break with integrity. And once they've decided to make that break, it is a hard to near impossible road to get back to integrity, because a lot of times there's trust violations that have occurred. And once trust is violated, it's almost always a one-way gate. All right, guys, we're at 30 minutes. That's enough. Too long a video as it is. But we got things cleaned up. So let's wrap it up and say good video and put an end to it. So appreciate you guys spending time with me. I love bringing you into the dog yard, showing you dogs, and show you around my different aspects of my life. Who else is willing to show you a roof? Riveting behavior. All right, guys, I hope you had a great Saturday. Hope you got a great Sunday in front of you. Hope you got a good week planned out in front of you. And gosh, and that's it. So I ask, may God please bless your lives and those of the lives around you. I ask God to turn his ear to hear your prayers. I ask that God make his face shine upon you and those important to you, and may he bless your lives like he's blessing mine. Guys, that's it. Have a great Saturday night. Talk again tomorrow. Good night, everybody.